resilience amidst suffering. About 40% of the population lives in poverty. Udaran is a local grassroots NGO. It began about 30 years ago to alleviate suffering for individuals and community. The founder, Shahidul Islam, began having his meetings with like-minded activists outside of his parents' house, pictured here. So they really just started with a few other people while they're in university to talk about the issues in their community. How can they help these people who are in really great need, who are completely ignored by the government? They really just started with some ambition and hardly anything else. This is where they would hold their meetings about 30 years ago. Okay. Today the organization has developed into a very strong, nationally recognized NGO. This is their training center in the town called Tala in the district called Shatkira. Shatkira is where they do most of all their outreach work, and this is an area of major poverty and need. So they created this amazing center to have as a training center for different organizations. One of the first programs that Udaran began in the 1980s was to create a school for children who are too poor to attend private or government schools, and outcast families who have children that were blocked from attending schools. It's still a caste system somewhat in this area. So now the education programs that Udaran sponsors help over 2,000 children and adults. Another early program was microlending, loans to villagers to start their own businesses, like this rice mill, which was completely run by women. This is a feat in itself, because at that time women weren't allowed to have any sort of outside privileges, freedoms outside of their husbands. Now Udaran's work addresses many different issues. They're trying to broaden their reach. This includes the critical issue of clean drinking water, a major factor in this area where people will walk miles and miles for one drinking pump with water that's not contaminated with arsenic and saline, which is a major issue in this area. Udaran's primary mission and mode of inducing change is to teach oppressed poor people about their rights, to show them what resources are available, to educate them on topics that will make their lives better. Udaran's philosophy is that you can't strengthen community and fight poverty effectively unless you address as many of the issues contributing to suffering as possible. Battling poverty is not a single issue fight. Waterlogging, shown here, which is a massive flooding to the area in the Shatkira district, is met with attempts to get government help to rebuild the areas and international assistance to disaster relief. Udaran also takes on disaster relief as well. Right here they constructed emergency housing for flood victims. In the more remote areas of the entire region, many people live in unclaimed land. They are homeless, they have nothing, they have no opportunities, they have no resources. They have no protection or assistance whatsoever. This is the landless area. The landless people, as they are known, is another group that Udaran has decided to try and help. Udaran has taken this issue on, despite a lot of challenges, to give them a voice after they've been beaten down and silenced. People living in this area have been attacked by land grabbers. These are very wealthy parties who want to claim this land to start their own shrimping businesses, which is very lucrative right now, just kind of use it for their own good because they won't have to pay for it. They hire thugs to beat families, destroy their homes, kick people off this land, and just abuse them. About 15 years ago, the landless community came together and they started an uprising against their abusers. This is one of the land rights leaders of the movement. I mean, the movement was really peaceful and the people were marching. The government attacked them with military force and ended up killing some civilians who were just walking. This is how ignored these people are. They were beaten down when they just wanted to claim some rights, claim some help. To really tackle this extremely tense and politically intertwined issue, Udaran meets with landless groups in their area to raise awareness that the Bangladesh Constitution states all landless individuals are guaranteed kosh land. This is government-owned land, and actually the region where most of them are squatting. Udaran educates the population on how to get through this process, how to get their entitled land. Udran has also established a school in the landless area. These kids have no resources and no ability to get formal education, so Udran has provided that opportunity. To acquire government land, this involves working with government offices. In the next slide, here we go. Okay, Udran partners with the local government offices to help the process from start to finish. So this is a major initiative to collaborate with all these people. Here the individuals are meeting with the government officials, they're getting their paperwork stamped and signed. It's just a really incredible process. People who have never had anything go from no possessions to owning land, and they're helped and encouraged and taught how to cultivate that land to officially pull themselves out of poverty. These two gentlemen had just gotten their paperwork. Both of them were homeless and beggars. This is a major initiative. The whole process costs about 64 taka. That's less than $1 United States dollar. So it's not a matter of money. It's just a matter of getting the awareness out there and the process going. Udran pays this cost and provides a transportation for the individuals to get to the local offices and the regional offices. However, Udran ended up paying a much bigger price for this help. Think about that. In a country riddled by corruption, this issue took on a much greater complications and danger when Bangladesh was declared a state of emergency by the caretaker government in 2006. The power was handed over to military forces. Wealthy groups would pay off military officers to get their private interests protected and furthered. This is one of the shrimp farms. On January 27, 2007, Shahidul Islam was arrested by military forces from his training center in Tala Shakira, was severely beaten and tortured, and then imprisoned. The charges were completely false. He was being punished for his work with helping the landless. These wealthy land grabbers wanted his work to end so they could further their needs and desires. All of Udran's staff and associates were in grave danger of being arrested, tortured, killed. Many other NGO leaders and activists had died at the hands of military personnel at this time. Since Udran had international and national support, the staff pleaded these contacts for their help, and there was an issue raised to Amnesty International and got international news about what was going on. He was gratefully and very luckily released after 7 months in prison. And once he recovered physically, he returned to work with as much, if not more, dedication to serving those around him in need. These people are truly activists. They truly stand for those who are oppressed. Their staff and their work provide ironclad examples of how grassroots initiatives can have amazing transformative power.